A significant cultural repatriation. 32 Ghanaian objects that were taken from the Asante kingdom by British colonizers 150 years ago are finally on display in Ghana. The items are on loan to Ghana for 3 years, and the agreement is between the Victoria and Albert Museum, the British Museum and the Asante King. The Asante King is considered a symbol of traditional authority, but his kingdom is now part of Ghana's modern democracy. For more on this now, we're joined by a Ghanaian historian who served as chief negotiator for the Mania Palace in Kumasi, Ghana, and is currently visiting director of the museum, Ivor Agyeman-Duah. Thank you so much for your time. So can you elaborate on the historical significance of the 32 objects being loaned back to Ghana?
Well, thank you for the invitation. These were objects that were taken during the 1874 war with the British, and also the 1897 war. That is looted objects from two wars, basically. They have been in the UK and other European museums and galleries for close to 150 years. These were objects that were sold on the open market, and so there were institutions that were interested and have bought some of them, including the Victoria and Albert Museum and the British Museum. Over the years, these objects have been spoken about, written about extensively by European and other African historians who have looked into these royal arts as they were deemed at the time. And we've had discussions over the last 50 years as to whether these objects could come back, and they never did until recently, when we reset the negotiations and then agreed on some terms of their coming back.
And now that you've actually mentioned that, I need to find out, are there any possibilities for possibly extending the loan period or maybe making it a permanent feature in the future?
The initial agreement is for 3 years, renewable by another 3 years. So we know that at least we have the objects with us for 6 years. And in the course of the 6 years, there could always be re-engineering, renegotiations to have them stay a bit longer. So there is the possibility.
All right. And are there any educational programs or exhibitions that are, planned to accompany the loan?
There was a huge exhibition, Homecoming, on the 1st of May, which has attracted in the period, at least in the 3 weeks that the exhibition was on, attracted close to 13,000 visitors, mainly the youth and students at the secondary schools and also other universities from across the country. So it's already on exhibition, and we hope that before the year ends, there will be record numbers. People want to reconnect with the past, and these visual objects are the leading lamps that will let them be able to do that. So yes, they've been on exhibition, and we're looking at these exhibition in the context of the educational value. What were the functionalities of these objects? What are in them now that are of relevance to our growth culturally? And what can be imitated? Or how do we look back in terms of inverse inventions of these objects? So these are being discussed now, and being discussed not only with educational institutions, but also with specialists at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, at the Fowler Museum at the University of California, one of our partners, as well as with the British Museum itself and the Victoria and Albert Museums. Create a cosmopolitan interest in these objects, and then to have this cultural value shared.
All right. That is visiting professor, of course, at the Museum of Ghana, and director of the museum, Ivor Agyeman-Duah. Thank you so much for sharing your insights on the program.